Today we're going to be recreating the sounds made famous by Van Halen, Usher and Marvin Gaye. We're going to be using the Studiologic Sledge as in previous tutorials, and as a starting point we're going to use the Super Saw setting that we had before, which is like this. Okay, we've got all three oscillators in that Super Saw waveform at different pitches, 8 foot, 32 and 16. We're going to get rid of oscillator 3 and adjust oscillator 2 to a 16-foot pitch. This is going to give us that sound. We also need to adjust the filter a little bit here. So on the previous sounds the filter was fully open. We need that to be closed off a little bit, not too much, but maybe down to about there, and then we'll move over to the modulation section. Right, when we used the modulation section before, we were affecting oscillators 1 and 2 with a sine wave. This gives us a wobble like this. But what we want it to do for this particular sound, which is very characterful of the sound, is give a slight rise in pitch. And for that we're going to use the ramp setting. Now if I put this on a certain amount of depth, we need a rise in pitch of 2 semitones. So that's actually 28 on here. Let's have a look. Now we can hear it rising in pitch quite slowly. We need it to rise in pitch a bit quicker, so we're going to alter the speed of that. There we are, a little bit quicker, there we are. So now that gives us the characterful sound of jump. But of course, what I forgot to do was take down the pitch of each of these oscillators by 2 semitones to accommodate. There we are on this one. There we are. So we get this sound. Now the Van Halen sound isn't too different from the one that was used by Usher in the track Yeah. Here we're going to set all 3 oscillators to 8 foot, which gives us this sound here. We've also still got the rise in pitch, but we need a bigger rise in pitch of a depth of 0.36, which is actually 8 semitones. So we need to alter the semitones of each of these pitches in oscillators 1 and 2 down by 8 semitones. There we are on this one. We need to switch oscillator 3 back into the mix so we get a much more richer sound. And here's the Usher sound. We need to alter the speed ever so slightly so that it's a little bit slower. That's it. And that's much more accurately recreating the sound of Usher's Yeah. Now for the Marvin Gaye sexual healing sort of brassy sound, which was originally done on a Jupiter 8, we're going to restore the semitone pitch here, back to 0, and back to 0 here, and the depth control of the modulation section is at 0. So we're back to a nice sound there. Okay, so what we need to do is alter the pitch of the oscillators to 16-foot pitch. Okay. Now I'm playing the chords to that, but it doesn't sound brassy at all until we adjust the filter section. So on the filter, we're going to reduce the filter to about 62. Now this might seem extreme, but we're going to use the envelope generator to actually brighten the sound up to give a brassy sound. And remember the filter envelope, the attack time is 0, sustain level 0, release time 0, the decay time we need to be about 50, and introducing the filter amount, we've we've actually got a very percussive sound, which again is reminiscent of another Usher tune. But to transform that into a brass sound, we need to adjust the attack time. Now the attack time will give us that slow rise in filter. And we need that to be about... That's much better there, that's much more brassy sound there. So here's the Marvin Gaye Sexual Healing sound. So from one basic supersaw waveform, we've created lots of different sounds just by tweaking bits here and there. Hope you found that useful.